Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Kris Lofton, your boy, better known as Jannar from Power Book 4 Force, and you are here right now watching my boy, my dog, Mr. Byron Scott. Fast break. Tune in.
We back with another episode of Byron Scott's Fast Break. Kid J, B. Scott.
What's up? What's up?
In the building. Kris D. Lofton, a.k.a. Lambo.
Lambo. Look at y'all.
Lambo.
Look at y'all. What's up, though? What up, man? I
Welcome
appreciate
to
y'all.
the podcast, brother.
Man, thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all.
We already having a good time before we even start the podcast. But, Drew Estate Cigars.
Yes.
Byron has blessed you.
He did.
But he didn't light it up, though.
Pass that torch.
Yeah.
To Chris, let him get his lit.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Before we get going here,
As soon as you...
Drop my stomach.
I had to pick my damn stroke up. Hold up. We got it going now. We good.
Come on, don't burn down the place.
Can't do that.
I can't afford it. I ain't gonna do that. Only one of us was in the NBA, so
Yeah.
only one of us was in the NBA. So trust me, I'm gonna be extra careful. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
All right, Chris.
All right, there we go. Now we're talking.
Tell us where Lambo came from. Where'd you get that name from?
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. So so I used to rap. I used to be a rapper.
Okay.
And I played sports too. So like in sports, everybody, I feel like it was just like first name initial and like half of the last name. Everybody called me K-Lof. When I played sports, it was K-Lof, 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 K-Lof. That was it. And then when I started like rapping and just being a little bit more outside, if you will, off the porch, because I'm from Chicago. I'm from the west side of Chicago. So I was a little bit in the streets a little bit growing up. So like it kind of transferred over to Lambo. Like after I stopped playing sports and it was just like, all right, I rap now and da-da-da, something. And my rapper name was Lambo Loft. Instead of K-Lof, it was Lambo Loft. So that's where the Lambo came from. And the Lambo just stuck with me. People who like just knew me from around would call me Lambo. And in my former rapper life, they knew me as Lambo.
Oh, cool, cool. Okay, I didn't know that. So Chris, how did you get started in the industry? I know that you also, your first film was a sports film.
Yep.
With Keanu Reeves, right?
Yep, Hardball.
So how'd you get started in it?
Man, I got lucky. Right place at the right time. You know, people say that, but mine truly, truly was that. Like I just heard something on the radio in Chicago, WGCI, our little radio station out there. I heard something and it was like, yo, we got some people in town looking for young black boys that know how to play baseball. And I was like, well, shit, mama, that nigga, if that ain't me, I'm young, I'm black, and I know how to play baseball. If you don't take me where the white man said to go, take me right now. And I thought, so ignorant and just a child, I had no clue that it was a movie audition. I honestly, in my head, thought it was like a traveling baseball team tryout that they talking about on the radio because they putting it together from like people for the city of Chicago. And it was around that time when traveling leagues was a big, big thing for baseball. I'm thinking it's a baseball tryout. So I show up, jogging pants with some cleats on, my glove, a hat, regular T-shirt, just chilling. I walk in, it's inside of an abandoned mall, World Foot Locker. That's how old and long ago this was. An abandoned World Foot Locker in Chicago. And there was a bunch of kids in there dressed all up with like ties on and shirts, button-up polos, and mamas cleaning their face off and shit. I'm like, what is going on, nigga? I thought we not playing baseball. They was like, oh, well, yeah, no, you're here for the audition? How old are you? Because that's going to determine what role you're auditioning for here today. And I'm like, I ain't auditioning for the role. Where the baseball thing at? Yeah. Yes, this is it. You're here. You're in the right place. It's for a baseball movie. I was like, oh, mama, I don't want to be in a movie. I'm cool. I thought this was a baseball tryout. And she was like, well, baby, I done drove you all the way here. You might as well just go see what they want. You never know.
How old were you?
I was 10, 11.
Wow.
I was like, all right. And they just hand me a piece of paper for a cold read. Like, you know, we don't know the script. We just kids off the street. So they hand us a script and they say, try to learn this as best you can, but you don't have to learn it. You're going to read it. But when you go in there, just try to act like you're not reading it off of paper. Act like you're at the park or you're on the baseball field and you're just talking to your friends. And I was like, okay, lady, sure. and I read the shit and they were like, oh my God, that was amazing. That'd be perfect. We'll be in touch. And I was like, whatever. Months go by, and they called and just was super crazy. I remember my mama putting it on speakerphone. Hey, this is Brian Robbins with Paramount Pictures. We're looking for Mr. and Mrs. Lofton. Da-da-da-da. We're calling on behalf of Paramount Pictures. Looking for Kris Lofton, the parents. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, we're going to be filming a movie called Hardball. We really love Kris. And da-da-da-da-da-da. And then before you knew it, I was on set of a movie with Keanu Reeves.
Wow.
Was it filmed in Chicago?
It was filmed in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's just kind of how that happened. And then because we weren't actors, we were must joins for SAG, so they paid our SAG initiation fees because they know we just regular kids from the hood of Chicago. We ain't got no, my mom and dad ain't got no $2,000-$3,000 to join no damn SAG. Like, well, the movie's over immediately before it even starts.
Yeah.
They ain't got that. So they paid it for us, took it out our first check, and they all gifted us to one agent because none of us had agents, none of us were actors. And they just gave us all to one agent, and she just kept sending us on auditions, and I just got lucky enough, and I kept getting them.
That's
Kept
dope.
getting them, and I kept getting them, and then we look up 26 years later, and now
There's
I'm an actor.
Right.
There's many iconic moments in that movie, but the one where G Baby is killed. Set that scene up for us.
Oh man, the G Baby death scenes. Some would argue, and some would say it might be one of the most tragic deaths in movie history.
Yeah.
You know, that's up there. It's definitely top 5 in movie deaths. You know, because everybody cried when G Baby died. No, for sure. No, that scene was crazy. I remember on the day, people were, because we actually shot that in the projects, in the real projects in Chicago. So we had like real life happening around us while we were filming. Nigga, that was real shit going on.
But you were at home, right?
Yeah, like.
All they gotta do is turn the camera.
No, like for real, bro. Like there was one night we was out there filming and we were supposed to film the G Baby death scene, right? It was the night we were due to film that. But real gunshots go off. But they were thinking that everybody on set thought that it was during the take. And everybody was like, all the crew was like, no, that wasn't us. They were like, no, that wasn't us. All the prop masters, the prop masters over there like, I got the damn guns right here. That wasn't us. And then, so like they shut the set down immediately. We was in the middle of the projects, the Obla homes in Chicago, and they had to shut it down on the original day of the shoot. And then we tried our best to lock it up. That's when we became like more like for the community. It was kind of like we was giving away food. Like we left craft service open to the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It's like we didn't try to like put up a perimeter in that neighborhood. Like, hey, y'all, go in the house. Don't be out here. Like, bro, between takes, we'd be out there taking pictures with him. Keanu was out there, nigga, smoking cigarettes with him and shit. Like, it was great. And like, we was, I'm telling you, it was a great time. It was a great time. Good gig if you can get it, I promise.
Oh, shit.
Oh, boy, you're hilarious. So, I mean, at this time, you're a young boy.
Yes, sir.
You're a young man, all right? And you're filming with Keanu Reeves and Diane Lane, right?
Yep.
And how was that? And maybe now that you're older, you can kind of go back and look at that and say, man, that was a hell of an experience working with those two. But how was it for you at that time?
For me, it was crazy. More so with Keanu. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like at the time, I didn't know who Diane Lane was. I'm 10 years old and black. Like I didn't know, had no clue. I was like, she's just a very nice white lady to me. She's just very nice. She's kind of beautiful. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, cool. But Keanu was Neo. That was the Matrix was out. The Matrix had just came out like less than a year before we filmed that movie. So that was crazy. Like I remember, in between takes, we would always be asking them questions about the Matrix and stuff like that, playing with them like that. We was trying to teach them how to do the little Biggie dance, all of that. Like it was super dope.
Trying to teach them some hood stuff.
Yeah,
right?
we was trying to teach them like little hood stuff. And I remember him, even though I was young, I could tell that was somebody like, because I wasn't at the time thinking about being an actor or being famous or nothing like that.
Right.
In my head, I was still going to very much so play sports. All I cared about was sports. I didn't give a damn about no theater, acting. Wasn't even caring about rapping at this time. I'm 10 years old. Yeah. Sports. I'm finna get out the hood. Sports. And that was it. I was bred to play sports. So for me, that movie was cool, but I still looked at him like he's successful, so it doesn't matter in what realm I'm striving for success in. I looked at him that I know I want success, so to see him and the way he acted, I knew like this is somebody that I want to be like. And even though I was young, I knew he was dealing with a lot of shit on that set. Like while we were filming that movie, that was the same time when, because if you know about Keanu Reeves, you know that his girlfriend died. His girlfriend died while he was filming that movie. I remember them telling us, like,
Wow.
pulling all the kids to the side, like, hey, guys, we're going to try to cheer up Keanu, take it easy on him today. Like, he might be a little standoffish. He's not mad at you. Just know that he's not angry. He's just dealing with a lot. Like, let's just try to shower him with love today, guys. Like, I remember these conversations that the director was having with us about that. And I watched this man walk around and, like, it didn't seem like he skipped a beat with remembering the one-off crew members' names and details about their life and actually talking to our parents and hugging our parents and standing there having a conversation with our parents between takes. I'm like, bro, they just told us this man's girlfriend just died. And he's here filming this movie with our black asses. This is crazy. To me, it was mind-boggling.
Right.
I was like, whoa, this is Neo from The Matrix. I was like, shit, you have no choice but to be a good person.
Right.
Because who do you think you are? If Neo could be a great person after his girlfriend just died, who do you think you are? And I was like, be more like this person. And that's what stuck with me the most about Keanu. He still got us rap gifts. He bought us rap gifts. He bought the crew rap gifts. I'm like, yeah, this nigga is different. He's different. And I want to be like that.
Right.
I want my essence and energy to be like that. And that's what I learned the most from that project. Like, literally, it was the tagline of the movie. The most important thing in life is showing up. That was our, like, tagline on the bottom of the poster. And that shit stuck with me, too.
Wow.
Because that's honestly the story of my life is showing up. I'm not more talented. I'm not smarter than everybody. I'll just show up. And I'll be there the next day and the next day and that next day and that next day. And don't care if you told me no every one of them days. I'm going to be there.
I love that. Michael B. Jordan was in that movie as well. Did you see the stardom in him early on?
Well, yeah. See, Mike, it was Mike B. Jordan and another guy named Brian Hearn, who played Andre in the movie. They were the only two kids that weren't from Chicago and that were already actors.
Yeah.
Because Mike B. had did like an episode of Cosby, like Law and Order, and like this movie called Black and White. Before he had did Hardball, he had already like kind of been acting a little bit in Jersey and New York and stuff. So we were the only ones from Chicago. They picked 5 kids at that open call audition I went to. 600 kids showed up. They picked 5, and I was one of the 5 at the open call audition. And then they brought 2 or 3 in from New York and Jersey. And it was Mike B. and Brian Hearn. Then they just got all the extras from Chicago locals.
Yeah.
So that's how they did that. So to me, I did look at Mike like he was an actor already.
Right.
Because like they flew him in. They hotel was a little better than ours. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, you know, there will be signs. Like I knew they was a little different.
Yeah.
I was like, but damn, we the same age and he cool as shit. I don't really recognize him from any other projects that he's done before, but this nigga lives in New York. So to me, that's crazy. Like, I'm from Chicago. I'm like, oh, you already an actor. And you've been on the Cosby and you've been on Law and Order. Like, to me, I'm like, oh.
He big time.
You big time to me. I'm not even an actor. I play sports. Like, you really on TV. Like, so to me, I already looked at Mike like that. But I do find it kind of funny. One thing I always say is with that movie, me and Mike B. Jordan's roles in that movie were, if you would have watched that movie, it's kind of the 2 smallest roles of the like main kids.
Yeah.
But yet we are like the only 2 who have really worked since then. And I find that to be funny. Like that's why they say there's no small roles, only small actors. Like me and Mike B. Jordan had the smallest roles on there. Yeah. The whole movie was about G-Baby. G-Baby was the star. They had shit to do with none of us for real. It was G-Baby's movie. They could have picked any nigga off the street to be the other people that we were doing. I just got lucky.
Right.
It was G-Baby.
We have a new partner. And it's very important that we take care of this brand new partner. It is prizepicks.com. It is a daily fantasy sports app, and it's super simple to use. I was able to download the app literally a couple days ago, make my picks instantly. We even watch Byron download the app in seconds and automatically make his picks. It is that simple to use prizepicks.com. So, is it okay if I just make sure we get this right? I got to read this.
We want to get this absolutely right. So hell yeah, Jay. Okay. Do you.
So this is what you're going to do with our partner, prizepicks.com. Go to their website, prizepicks.com. Use code BScott to receive a guaranteed $50 once you play $5 in lineups. Super simple. Prizepicks.com, code BScott. It's a daily fantasy sports app made simple for you.
So in that movie, Hardball, what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is probably the we go into the ship scene when we at the pizza place and we start singing that song. We go into the ship. What? We go into the ship. Like that, I think that was my favorite scene because as a kid, like now, I would dread this day of work because I'm grown. And I'd be damned if I have to eat pizza that much, that many times over and over and over and over. Like I don't like and pretend like I'm enjoying
pizza
it.
that much no more?
I love pizza, but eating on TV and eating in real life are two different things, bro. Like by like take 16, nigga, they got a spit bucket right here for you. As soon as they yell cut, because I'm not swallowing no more. Pause. I'm not swallowing it no more. I'm just chewing and chewing and chewing until y'all hopefully say cut before I have to, and I'm gonna spit this shit out by like take 17. I swear. So like now I wouldn't want it, but at 10 years old, 11 years old, every single time they say cut, they bring in a new pizza. Fresh pizza, hot pizza, every single time. So I'm just getting pizza. We drinking pop and pizza. With Keanu Reeves, I'm here with Neo. Like, and we drinking pop and pizza all day. Like, that's all we doing. Like, it's 9 hours of eating pizza and drinking pop with Neo. I was like, this is beautiful. And this is the good life. Mama, we made it, goddammit. I thought,
Mama, we made it.
Mama, we made it.
All right, K-Lofts. So we have a top 5 we do here.
Mm-hmm.
We did top 5 sports movies.
Okay.
Nobody's mentioned Hardball.
Okay, I probably wouldn't either. I'm talking about the depths, but because I love sports and I love sports movies, I don't know if I would put Hardball in my top 5 of sports movies. I have to see.
Give us your top 5 then.
See, that's what I'm pondering now. I felt like the question was coming. We got to just throw Remember the Titans because sports movie or not, it's top movie.
Yes,
just
sir.
movie. It ain't even sports movie. We got to throw Remember the Titans in there. I'm going to throw Any Given Sunday in there.
There you go. That's bias.
I'm going to throw... Honestly, I'm going to go Moneyball in there.
Oh,
I like Moneyball. Moneyball was
baseball?
fire. Yeah, Moneyball was fire.
Brad Pitt. That was
I'm going
good.
to go Little Giants.
Oh.
I'm going to go Little Giants. Oh, no.
Uh-oh, you taking Little
I got
Giants
2
out?
more. No, I got 2. Oh, you 5? I got like 2, 3 more.
Okay, give
give them to us.
I got Little Big League.
Little Big League. Okay.
Angels in the Outfield.
Angels in the outfield.
And Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Rookie.
All them baseball movies damn near.
What? Them was pivotal. Those were very pivotal. Right? Like, nah. Angels in the Outfield. Hey,
Angels,
it could happen. What? Are you crazy? Like, these was classics. These was classics. I got to do that.
Okay. All right. We like those. We like those. You were a three sports star. I mean, you played football, basketball, baseball. You turned down a scholarship to play baseball, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because at the time, honestly, like, I feel like all of the shit, I think I told you off air, midlife crisis, fake early midlife crisis was the exact verbiage I used. That happened to me a few times throughout my life. I've always felt older than what I was.
Okay.
I got emancipated when I was 17. I lived in Chicago alone. My whole family moved to Georgia when I was 17 years old. And I stayed to finish out my senior year of high school. And this is prior to lucky ass kids these days. We didn't have NIL. There was no such thing. So at the time, I just started asking the right questions because it didn't seem far-fetched in my world that the opportunity to be a part of another sports movie may present itself during the 4 or 5 years and I'm about to go to college. So I sat and asked them first. I said, hey, what would happen if I'm still acting. What would happen if I book a movie? Because I'd already did Hardball. I came very close on getting Coach Carter, and I had to turn down, my mom turned it down for me, Gridiron Gang, the movie with The Rock.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be Willie Weathers in Gridiron Gang.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. But my mom wouldn't let me do it because they wanted me to drop out of high school, take the GED test so they could work me like an adult. Because they didn't want me to, you know what I'm saying? Like they wanted me, because he was almost like one of the main characters underneath The Rock. He was in so much of the movie.
Right.
They like, yo, Chris, you're going to have to be in school for 3 to 4, 5 hours a day, and we'll only be able to do one scene with you a day. It's going to make us take probably double time to film this movie if you got to go to school like that. So we don't want to cast someone who's already out of high school. We want you, but we'd love if you were to take the GED test and you pass and then the role is yours and we can technically, legally work you like an adult now because you're not in school.
Wow.
And my mom was like, yeah, no, not going to happen. My son ain't getting no damn GED. He getting a diploma. Blah, 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 blah. So my mama, they kindly sent my black ass back on the flight to Chicago. Checked me out that damn hotel so fast. Had a travel agent call me. I've never been called faster. I swear to God, I've never had a travel agent call me faster than that moment. But so I turned it down for those reasons. Because of those two experiences, along with Hardball, I really thought it could be a possibility that, hey, I might get asked to do another sports movie during this time. And what happens during that time? Will I be able to like just walk away for the team for like 2-3 months while I go film a movie? And they were like, oh, well, actually about that, you would technically be violating, you'd be violating the NCAA regulations because technically you would be perceiving a paid athlete. Technically now you're a paid athlete and your scholarship would be null and void.
Yeah, but
you're an amateur.
but that's different though. Why would it be a paid athlete?
They said because technically I'm still getting paid. I don't have a body double out there doing it. So I'm a paid athlete. I'm getting paid for my athletic services.
You're an amateur. Yeah, and you're an amateur. You can't do that.
Yeah. I was getting paid for athletic ability and services and rendering that talent of athletics to this production studio or this network.
Yeah.
So they was like, yeah, you would be ineligible, unfortunately. And I was like, okay, so basically I have to stop acting for 4 years, do this. And then I start questioning, well, what if I don't make it to the league? I was like, nigga, all I've been doing my whole life is playing sports. I don't know how to do shit else but play sports. I was like, yo, okay, so what if I go in here and don't make it to the league? Or what if I go out here and hurt myself and now I ain't shit and can't play no more? Yeah. And now I'm on hiatus for 4 or 5 years in the industry that's very hard to just come back to when you're not just a cute kid actor anymore. Now I'm trying to be a grown man when they knew me as a cute kid, and you're not so cute no more, my nigga. Are you good now? Are you actually good now? Can you act? Nigga, you're a grown man now. It's not that cute kid syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Right, so now you trying to just be irrelevant for 4 or 5 years because you went to play basketball, football, baseball, and maybe it don't work out. Now you're trying to run back to them when you've been gone for 5 years, hoping that everyone remembers you. The shit don't work like that.
Right.
And I said, you know what? I'm gonna just keep acting and take my chances, man. I feel like I felt like in sports, I had to be the guy to get the return that I truly wanted and that I envisioned. You got to be the guy.
Yeah.
It ain't, niggas who is overseas got regular jobs. These niggas got regular jobs during the off season, or they got hustles and this and this and that. My thing was, I'm okay with not being, I don't have to be Will Smith to make a living.
Right.
I don't have to be Will Smith to never clock in and punch nobody's clock and be comfortable. And I was cool with that. I thought like that at 17. I was like, I got to be Kobe. I got to be Randy Moss. I got to be Ed Reed to get some money.
Right.
I said, for real? Otherwise, I'm what? Playing football in the Canadian Football League? No way. Being a woulda, coulda, shoulda nigga? I can't do that. I can't be that guy showing highlight reels on YouTube at 36 about what I can't be that.
What I used to do?
Yeah. I would much rather just be an actor who maybe you might not know my face, but I ain't had to punch a clock for my rent get paid like this. I eat off this. And I might not be somebody that you recognize. And to me, that was cool. My knees intact. That shit be hurting still, but it'd be worse if I played, probably. So, like, to me, it was worth it. It was worth more to me. And the longevity. I'm like, bro, there's nothing. It doesn't matter what happens. I get fat and out of shape. There's a role for the fat guy. I go bald, lose all my hair. There's a role for the bald nigga. I get old. There's a role for the old nigga. I go outside, get hit by a bus right now. There's a role for a nigga in a wheelchair. I can literally do this shit until I die. Literally.
Oh, shit.
You see what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Oh, shit.
Like, nigga, I got a
I never heard it put that way, Chris, but I love the way you put it.
I got a solid, if I'm playing
that's
football.
how you were thinking at
that's
17
how I was thinking
years
at
old?
17.
Yeah.
I said, mama, as long as I could talk, I ain't even got to remember lines. They had niggas holding the lines for Marlon Brando. They got niggas talking in your ear, telling you the damn lines. I can have dementia and still do this shit.
Oh, shit.
As long as my body, as long as I'm willing and able and somebody will cast me, I can do this shit. And I was like, yeah, no, I like the longevity. So that just give me more years of chances to take. Like in sports, like I said, I only got 4 years to make it to the league. And this shit, I got the rest of my life to blow up. I don't care if it don't happen till I'm 56. I don't give a shit. I'm here for the long run.
Do you ever, like, what are we talking, 18, 20 years later now, when you made that decision, do you ever reflect like, God damn it, I should have stayed in sports?
Mm-hmm. Oh, all the time. All the time. Because when I watch sports, I'm like, You know, I still think I could do that.
Yeah.
I could get out there right now and get off the couch, put the cigar down and do that. like that. Like, so I still had those moments. And then because of I was on the TV show Ballers with The Rock.
Yeah.
HBO.
HBO. I was on Ballers for like 3 years. So that, while filming that, I was like, oh man, this would have been great. I was like, but I also saw, I probably couldn't have. God knew what he was doing. God knew what he was doing. He saved me. Because if I'd have had millions at 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, oh my God, I'd be dead in the ditch somewhere. Or in jail. I'd be dead in a damn ditch, Byron. You wouldn't be talking to me right now, I'll tell you that, buddy.
Kris, you crazy. Let's talk a little bit about Ballers, though, because Ballers, that was off the chain, man. That was such a great series. Is that going to come back, or is it just like done?
No, man, the Ballers thing is done. It just got too much. Like, number one, it was a great show. It went 5 seasons, and most of the HBO shows, they kind of try to cut shows between like 4 to 6 seasons.
Yeah.
So that was cool, and they didn't think, we thought maybe we could go as long as Entourage, like 7, 8 years, because it's from the same creators and producers as Entourage.
Sports version.
Yeah, it's the sports version. It's basically the spinoff. But what happened was The Rock just kept being The Rock and becoming The Rock.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just became harder and harder to get his availability, you know? So that happened. And then in the midst of it, by like season 3, 4, everybody starts to realize this is John David Washington and he's great on this show.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's Denzel's son.
Yeah.
So now it's like, now he starts becoming John David Washington. So now we not only worried about can we get The Rock to come film this damn show, now it's can we get John David too?
Yeah.
And then I started booking stuff. Damn, now can we get Kris? And it just started to become like
too big.
Everybody started blowing up on the show.
Yeah.
And then, London Brown, now he on Raising Kanan now, playing Uncle Marvin on Raising Kanan.
Right.
Like now he's booked. Like it's just like, what we gonna do?
Right.
Yeah, it just turned into one of those things, and we had to just cut the losses.
How was that like working with The Rock?
No, amazing, like amazing. Look, The Rock was one. I sat there for 3 years on that show because I told myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm from Chicago. I'm gonna spot the flaw in this nigga, man. I'm gonna spot it. Everybody just be talking about he the nicest dude in the world and all of this, and he's just so blah. You know, like, man, all right. I'm finna be around this nigga for 3 years. I'll let you know. Couldn't find nothing. I was like, damn you, Dwayne Johnson. I said, damn you, Dwayne Johnson. He's really the greatest guy you could ever meet. Like, he really is the person that will stand out there for an extra hour and make sure you take a picture with every person who stood there and waited on him. He really is like that. And I was just like, once again, kind of like the Keanu story I told you. Yeah. It made me be like, well, shit, Kris, you've got no excuses to be nice ever. Yeah. Because he's The Rock. And he's nice. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's nice. Like, we used to do this thing on Ballers. They used to call it a Dwayne lunch because he would never be there when he's supposed to be there because he got so much other shit going on.
Right.
So what would happen is we would hate this shit as the other actors on the show because I could come in, they bring me in like, let's say 7 a.m. my call time. I'm supposed to be first scene probably up by 10:30, 11 a.m., first scene up. If Dwayne gets there at 9 or 10 a.m., it's a Dwayne lunch now, and everything shifts. It's whenever he shows up, we filming all of his shit now. Yeah, I don't care if your scene was next, you wait. Dwayne lunch. They break for lunch immediately, soon as he gets there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, so they can set up everything that's his scenes during the lunch break, even though it's not even really lunch.
Right.
They call it a Dwayne lunch. Oh, he's here? Okay. Switch everything. We're not filming this. We're doing all of this stuff now. Sorry, Kris, you're going to be the scenes after. Da-da-da-da. You guys can just go to your trailers. Da-da-da. We're But, hey, that's what happened when you The Rock. You got to, he would, like.
I guess he's earned that, right?
He earned that, bro. But I feel like a man who can cause that type of attention and stir, that kind of ruckus, who doesn't use it for evil is a true testament to his character. Yeah. And he still manages to be a great person by having the power and ability to be able to do things like that and make mountains move literally. Like, you're a stand-up guy to me.
Much respect.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rock.
Yeah, shout out to
The
Rock.
Rock.
Yeah, for
yes,
real.
sir.
For sure. Now, Kris, you've done some some hell of a TV series.
Mm-hmm.
You did Empire
Yes, sir.
and Power. Now, I'm going to tell you the straight out truth. I used to watch Empire.
Yeah.
Empire, right? Was watching it religiously. Never watched Power, right?
Mm-hmm.
My boy that lives in Vegas, his name is Byron as well, Byron Walker. Shout out to my boy B Walk. He was like, dog, you ain't watched Power yet? I done told your ass to watch Power. I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to get to it.
Yeah.
I started watching Power. I never went back to Empire.
Yeah, no, there was no point after that. Once you discovered Power, there was no point.
It was off the I mean, it just, you know, I guess being from Inglewood, you know, being from the hood and just kind of watching some of the shit that was going on. So out of those two, and I think I probably know the answer, which one to you was like the shit? I mean, it was like, man, this
Power.
Yeah.
It was definitely Power.
And why?
Man, because I was actually one of them Power fans from season 1, episode 1. So
Okay.
to me, it was like I was hooked. It was just one of those where I was hooked. Although I will say, in Empire's defense, that season 1 of Empire is like,
Yes.
that shit was a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
It was a global phenomenon.
It went from 0 to 100 real quick.
That very first season on
Yeah.
Fox, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a crazy Empire story too. Like I got
Oh, well, you need to tell
Yeah, I
that.
was about to say, we need to hear
Yeah,
it.
we need to hear that. We'll come back to Power in a second.
Throw that fire over here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, throw that fire
Let's
over
see them
here.
hands. Let's see if you lost it.
Come on now.
Okay.
Come on now.
Let's see if you lost
Come on now. I ain't lost them hands. But you got to tell us the Empire story. We want to hear
Okay,
this.
so funny story. I was originally auditioned and was gonna be the Hakeem role on Empire,
Okay.
right? But this was before it was Taraji and Terrence Howard. It was
Two of my favorite too.
they're amazing.
I didn't even know they were considering other people.
Yeah, so it was always Taraji because it was Taraji's show. Like they had built the show around her. Lee Daniels had built it around her. Yeah, but this was the year that Wesley Snipes had just gotten out of prison, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was Taraji and Wesley Snipes at first.
Really?
That was the original cast, Taraji and Wesley Snipes, right? I come in, audition, and they were like, yo, we love you for Hakeem, blah, 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 blah. We'll get the stuff drawn up, blah, 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 blah. Cool. Couple weeks before we supposed to do fittings and table reads and all of that, Taraji says, hey, I love the script, love everything, da-da-da-da, but I don't want to do this unless we get Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard has to play this role. This role is meant for Terrence. I keep reading it, and it's on my spirit, it's on my heart, and you know, they're great friends.
Yeah.
She like, Terrence will kill this role. So they're worried that they might not be able to get Terrence Howard at a lower rate because he's fucking Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
And this is Taraji's show. She's like getting the bulk of the money. So they worried that maybe Terrence doesn't say yes to this when we tell him that we can't pay him probably this, but we'll pay him this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he says no. So, and they tried to cover their asses. I don't know if you remember when it was stuff going around on the internet with that Monique and Lee Daniels or whatever was into it.
Yeah.
So Monique and Lee Daniels, they cool. They had just did Precious together. So he's like, hey, I got to turn something into this network soon. And Taraji's going to walk if we don't get Terrence. But I still have to turn a pilot into the studio and the network to view it to see if this is something that they want to pick up for these episodes. So, hey, Monique, I might have something for you. This show. That's why Monique was out talking about that she thought that she was going to be Cookie on Empire.
Yeah.
But it was really him scared that Terrence may say no to the offer, so he's trying to cover his ass in case Taraji quits because Terrence says no. So they just working in the background, producer shit. Typical producer shit. Nothing, no malpractice. You know what I'm saying? Just typical producer shit. You know what I'm saying, my nigga? Like, so that happens. But then when that happens, Terrence ends up saying yes. Now I'm too dark-skinned to be Terrence Howard and Taraji's son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And now this person is a little too dark to be their son, so they switch us out. They give me a consolation prize of Kid Fofo. Don't audition, we just give it to you. Blase, blase, blah, blase, blah. Bring him in. And it was just, bro, it's so much. It was so much. This industry, man, it was so much.
You okay to be Wesley's son, but you can't be Terrence.
Yeah, you can't be Terrence. You can't be Terrence's son. Terrence and Taraji's son, it wouldn't have worked. It was not believable.
Yeah.
But I could have been Wesley and Taraji's son.
Yeah, that's believable, right?
That's a little believable.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so
that's
that's how I ended up getting the Kid Fofo role. They just gave that to me like
The
hey,
rapper.
Yeah, like here, Kris, you're gonna be the rapper on the label that the son is looking up to, and he's trying to beat y'all have that little rivalry within the label, and then that shit lasted an episode.
Well, go back to Power, though.
Yeah.
I mean, let's go back to Power and work with 50 Cent. Man, I mean, that must have been amazing as well.
Yeah.
Greatest experience ever, man. Shout out to Fifth. Yeah, good. Yeah. Dog, that a dream come true. Like, honest to God, some people we don't really get them opportunities to live like a dream sequence. And like I said, for me, I was a Power fan from day one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yo, if I could be on Power, that would be crazy. But it was kind of like scary in a sense too.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I told myself, I was like, bro, I can't be the reason or the thing that fucks up my favorite show.
Right.
Yeah.
so you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. You put a lot of pressure on yourself.
That first season, I was like, bro, like, this shit is gonna be terrible. I was like, this is gonna be fucking terrible. Why would they make me do this?
Yeah.
Like, why would they let me do this? I'm like, nigga, wait, nigga, this is Tommy. Like, he's standing right here talking to me. Like, and when I filmed, I remember season 1 of Power, we shot this warehouse scene where my character first meets Tommy for the first time, and he saves my ass and kills these dudes, and then basically essentially robs me. Right? That was my first day of work ever. That when we filmed that scene, my first day on Power, I'm nervous as shit. And I'm also not starstruck, but I'm like, nigga, this is Tommy. It wasn't starstruck
Tommy
like, oh my God,
crazy.
Joseph Sikora. No, I don't know. Like, no, nigga. It was, nigga, Tommy is talking. So to me, it felt like a very out-of-body experience for me at that time when I was filming that scene because I forgot that I was in it. Like, I was standing there in the scene, and I'm just, because my lines are later on in the scene, and I'm just watching Tommy do all this power shit. Like, I watched this nigga pull two guns from behind his back like this, hiding behind a crate, looking to the side, and I'm just like, that guy. I'm just like this, like a little kid, Byron. I'm like, whoa, like this is happening. This is Tommy in a warehouse. It feels like Power. Right. We are in a warehouse, and that's Tommy, and I'm standing here. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then all of a sudden, everybody's looking at me. I'm like, oh shit, what?
Like, read your lines, right?
Nigga, your line? I was like, nigga, I'm in this. Yes. Okay. I'm so sorry. It won't happen again. Can we just go back? I said, bro, I had a moment. I had a fan moment, and I was like, nigga, you're Tommy. I said, it won't happen again, Joseph, I promise. I said, it won't happen again, but that was it. Yeah. That was like my first day of work that happened to me. And then ever since then, I was cool, but that lets you know that Power meant so much to me. That shit still feels surreal sometimes, but it was definitely Power, man. 50, and even Joseph, like, being the catalyst that even got me the role. Like, if it wasn't for him, and I had never met him a day in my life, he didn't know me from a can of paint, and he vouched for me because they was getting ready to cast somebody else for this role. And he said he was leaving the grocery store with his wife, Trader Joe's, with his wife, walking down the street in New York. And his manager, who's also 50's manager, shout out to my boy Renee, he ended up texting him my audition tape for his show. And he said, I'm walking down the street with my wife and I'm watching it. And then I just stop at the crosswalk and she's like, what's wrong? And he was like, holy shit, honey, I found the guy. We're like, what the fuck? I found the guy. He's like, I called Renee immediately. Like, who is this kid? How do you know him? Like, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, I met him at the club in Dallas like 3-4 years ago. and he just like, I don't know, it was just something about him, his energy. I just kept in contact with him. He was like, really? So you kept in contact with this kid for 3-4 years? Yeah. He was like, yeah. He was like, he ain't never asked me for shit either. He didn't even know I managed you.
Wow,
that's crazy.
I was like, I just sent him. I knew he worked for 50. So I'd like set up a little ruse or whatever in the club in Dallas because I knew 50 was in town hosting a party in Dallas. And I was in Dallas hosting a party with one of my castmates from Ballers, Donovan Carter. He was on Ballers with me. We was in Dallas hosting a party together. And I was like, oh shit, nigga, 50 is here. I was like, bro, I want to get on Power. I'm like, nigga, I'm going to the club where he finna be. I'm going there tonight. And he was like, word? So I called my homie because I knew the owner of that club in Dallas. Mm-hmm. So I called him. I said, hey, bro, is Fifth really going to be there or is this like some bullshit? He was like, no, we got him here tonight. I said, bro, can you get me a section directly next to his, please? I've never bought bottle service a day in my life up until that point. Not with my own money. You know what I'm saying? My own money. I've never done it. Yeah. Never done it. This is stupid shit in the world. But I've never done it up until that point. I said, bro, I'll buy the bottles, bro. Just get me a section right next to his. and switch all the bottles to his liquor brand. Like whatever brand he has, make all the bottles that come out for me his brand, and do not bring that shit out until he gets there. I don't care if 50 don't show up to 2:45 a.m. I will walk to the bar and buy regular drink by drink what I want until that man gets here to see that shit. And he was like, okay, I got you. And I was like, all right, bet. Go to the club, set it all up. 50 comes in, I send the bottles. I'm like, if he got a good cameraman, which I know he does because he's 50 Cent, the cameraman is going to be on point. And he's going to notice this random nigga who just got 4 or 5 bottles of his client's liquor. Shit, and he's going to swing that camera around and grab that footage. And from that footage, I will get eye contact. From that eye contact, I will gesture. From that gesture, I will motion over. From that motion over, I will engage. From that engagement, I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I was militant with this shit. I was like, I'm finna do it, and I'm going to meet 50 Cent, and I'm going to tell him that I got an audition. I was up for Raising Kanan at the time. I'd tested for Uncle Marvin and for Lulu. I was up for both of those roles at the time for Raising Kanan. So I'm like, yo, I'm going to tell Fifth that I got these auditions for Kanan and it's his story. Like, nah, fuck that. I'm going down there. And I went down there and I told him. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. No, you look mad familiar. You look mad familiar. He was like, hey, holla at my man's Renee. That's my manager. Get his info. He kind of just brushed me off to him. I'm like, all right, cool, nigga, cool. And right. That's why I meet the Renee dude. Club in Dallas, and he give me his number. I give him mine. That was in 2019, 2018, something like that. Just few texts here and there. Hope all is well. Just tapping in, cool, checking in, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I'm auditioning for BMF today. Hey, I'm auditioning for Raising Kanan again. Hey, I'm auditioning for Ghost today. Hey, I just got this audition for the Tommy show. But for that Tommy audition for Force, I don't know. All of those other times when I had those auditions for every other power, I never sent him the actual audition tape. I just told him, like, hey, I'm auditioning for this. I just told him. But some told me, I was like, nah, nigga, this is the one in Chicago, where I'm from. And in all of my years of acting at the time, it had been 23, 24 years I've been acting. I said, bro, I've never in my life did a tape and told myself that's the best audition I've ever done in my life. I've never done that because I'm hard on myself. Yeah. I never done that. It got so bad where I just started sending that audition to my other actor friends and just random people who had nothing to do with the industry to make sure I wasn't being biased and I wasn't delusional. I'm like, bro, that shit is crazy, right? They was like, nah, nigga, what the fuck? Are you serious? I was like, right? So I'm not crazy, right? I was like, all right, bet. I was like, nigga, I sent it to Renee, sent it to 50's manager, sent him the tape. And he was like, bro, he called me for the first time in 4 years. My phone rang and he called me. And I'm like, yo, what's up? He was like, yo, bro. Yo, nah, that tape you just sent me was fire, my G. You know, you're a New York nigga. Yeah. Yo, my nigga, was fire, my G. I was like, oh, thank you. He was like, yo, so I didn't tell you, huh? I'm like, tell me what? He was like, oh, so I couldn't have told. I'm like, nigga, what? What did you not tell me? He was like, bro, I managed Joe. I'm like, who is Joe? He was like, Joseph Sikora, Tommy. He was like, I managed him too. He was like, bro, I just sent your tape to him. And I sent it to Fifth. I said, huh? He said, yeah, bro, no, that shit was good. He was like, I sent it to Fifth and I sent it to Joe. Fifth sent it to Courtney Kemp. Courtney Kemp sent it to the showrunner. Somebody's going to be calling you within the next 30 minutes.
That's fine.
Wow.
I said, wait, what? He was like, nigga, I don't know how this acting shit go, but the showrunner or something is calling you because he has notes and he wants you to do it again, something, but they like you, my G. Somebody about to call you. And then the showrunner called and gave me notes. And then I retaped it, sent that tape in. And then another month goes by, I do 2 more auditions, and then I got it. But originally they was already casting somebody else, and Joseph stopped the entire audition process when he saw that tape that I sent to his manager.
Wow.
There it is right there.
Yeah,
you got to be in the club at the right time.
Yeah, be in the club at the right time.
Bro, I
swear
set
this shit up.
Yeah.
I set that up. Yeah, that was, and then 3-4 years later, it came into fruition, that relationship.
That's fire.
That relationship, and now that's one of my dogs. Me and Renee like this. Yeah.
All right, now Chris, you done talked about religiously how you from Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, you got a Chicago native here. So give me a Michael Jordan story. I know that's probably your favorite player of all time.
It's not actually.
Oh, really? So wait a minute. Give me an MJ story and then tell me who the hell then is your favorite player of all times.
Are you a Bulls fan?
Well, I like the Bulls. What did I tell you? I love all my Chicago teams.
Your home team.
Yeah.
Hometown.
But see, with basketball, it was always the Bulls. Yes, I was a Bulls fan through and through. Right. Yes. And then the more I grew up, the more I started to like have spite for the organization and the ownership that is the Chicago Bulls and Bears for that sake. But
Reinsdorf.
yeah. In basketball, I follow players. I don't really care so much about teams in basketball. It's the players I like.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I was always a Kobe fan.
Yes.
So wherever Kobe
Yes.
went, I went. But luckily, he stayed in one place.
Yeah.
So it's Kobe, and that's my favorite player of all time.
Did you ever get a chance to?
I never met him.
No?
I never met Kobe, man. I've seen MJ, but never met him. Like, I never met him. Like, but being from Chicago, like, we know his kids.
Right,
so
right.
I probably got more stories like that, but not like actual MJ. I ain't never met MJ. My homie did, and he had like a crazy experience with him because he knew MJ was the bruhs. And he'd one of the bruhs. So he had finessed his way to kick it with Mike all night just because he was one of the bruhs. And he said Mike caught him sneaking a picture, and he was like, well, you know we ain't supposed to do that. And he said, but he kind of kept it player. Shout out to my boy LeRoyce Hawkins, man. Yeah, he told me that that's my crazy MJ story. That's not even mine, but that he tells that story a lot better than me. How he saw him at a bar and he wanted to approach him and get a picture, but he just ended up talking about the bruhs and never asked for the picture. And then by the time the night had lingered, he was like, I still want my damn picture with Michael Jordan. he was like, I came over here for a picture. Before you know it, I done went to 2 restaurants. I'm drinking with him, and we kicking it under the bruhs umbrella. Like, and he said he tried to sneak a picture because he knew people wouldn't believe him. And he said, and I turned around and Mike was looking right at me as I'm taking the picture. He was like, not his reflexes are great on and off the court, Lambo. He said, so that's all I got. I ain't never met neither one of them.
Okay, so you follow players.
Yes, in basketball.
Yeah. Okay, 'cause you played all the sports, so you know basketball. So give me your top 5 NBA basketball players of all time.
Of all time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it don't have to be in no particular order.
Okay, my
don't have to be
favorite
by
players,
positions.
because I don't want to get
I
don't want to get killed for them.
Yeah,
my
your
favorite players of all time. Not saying that they are the best of all time, right?
Right.
Your favorite.
Your
Kobe.
favorite. Okay.
Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Oh my God.
To get hard after them two.
Yeah, Kobe.
Get hard after them two.
Because I know what I like of all time. I guess you got to throw. Oh, I don't even like him like that.
I guess he ain't your favorite.
Yeah.
But so he ain't my favorite. But it's just I feel remiss if I don't say his name. But I can't. My favorite. Okay, Kobe, Mike. Throw Shaq in there.
Okay. Power.
Big Diesel.
Yeah.
Throw the Big Diesel in there, man. I'm torn between saying Tracy McGrady or Vince Carter, but I don't want to say my favorite of all time. Ooh.
They kind of the same player.
They are.
Yeah.
They were cousins too. Damn. Nah, I'm gonna go Magic. I ain't gonna say neither one of them. I'm gonna go Magic.
Okay.
That's 4?
That's 4.
That's 4.
Shit hard, ain't it?
For me, it is, man, because I'm a real sports. I can name 100 names right now. So to say only 5, I feel like I'm disrespecting so many people right now. And I didn't say LeBron personally just because I'm such a Kobe fan
Yeah.
that it makes me not like LeBron, and he did nothing. He did nothing but be great. He did nothing but be great and amazing. And I want to look in this camera and tell you, you're amazing, LeBron. I just am a Kobe fan, and I hate what the city of Los Angeles has done to your legacy for me because of me being such a Kobe fan. Like, when people try to say that he's better than Kobe, it makes me hate him, even though he did nothing. He's done nothing but be great, but I hate him because people actually think that he's better than Kobe.
I don't think you're the only person that feel that way.
That's why I hate him.
Especially in LA.
Yeah,
especially in LA. There's a lot of people that feel that way.
In LA, they think he's better than Kobe, and I just feel like that's such blasphemy. And so it makes me resent you for it, and you did nothing, sir, Mr. James. He is a good man, Savannah. He is a good man. And so I guess my 5th would be
He's a good man, Savannah.
He's a good man, Savannah.
I think Savannah knows that, don't
Yeah.
She knows it very well.
But LBJ is no doubt about it. He's one. I love LBJ.
Yeah.
I do too, man. As a human, but
it's a human.
As a human being, he's a great human. He's a great human being. I'm gonna throw Steph in there, man. He was too pivotal. I'm gonna throw them out. There we go.
I like that's a good list though. That's a good list.
That's a great list.
Yeah. That's a real good list. So,
all right, we're going to talk about your podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your boyfriend can't cook. Tell us what that podcast is all about.
Oh, man. The podcast is really, I tried to go like a little unconventional with the podcast because it's really more of a show.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because when I think of podcasts, I think of us. Like right now, we shooting shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Talking,
We sitting, we
having a good
We
time.
having a
talking.
good time.
We got the mics in front of us. That's what I think of when I think of a podcast. Like mine, it's like we moving a little bit. Like we go from here to the kitchen. We in the kitchen cooking, but we still interviewing and talking, and we come
Yeah.
back out here and we doing that. So I just feel like it's just more of an unconventional show than a podcast. But we talk about everything, man. Like from the industry, I bring on people. I'm trying to get more guests. I've released 3 episodes so far.
Okay.
Got 3 more coming out. 1 this month. I'm gonna drop the next 2 top of the year, first quarter. And I'm just still getting it going, man. But yeah, Your Boyfriend Can't Cook, that's the brand. I thought of that brand during the actor strike. And I just ran with it, bro. It was one of those things. I'm the nigga with stories. So for me, how I even thought about Your Boyfriend Can't Cook is crazy. It's a funny story to that. So I'm sitting there. I end up breaking up with my ex-girlfriend, right? We were living together, so she's out the house at this point. And I was worried that, you know, you're going to break up with your girlfriend. You've been with her 3-4 years. You know, you can't just ask someone to leave and think that may or may not cause turmoil, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So in my head, I'm like, I don't want to drop a bomb like this that like kind of totally transitions someone's life and just have an expectation that I'm going to walk back into my house and everything's going to be just spick and span and tidy and intact. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have that expectation.
Right.
If I'm going to drop a bomb like this on you, like, hey, get out, I don't expect the follow-up to be a beautiful, clean home when I come back. I just don't have that expectation.
Yeah.
So I tried to wait for the perfect time to do it. So maybe I'm there to monitor the exit, if you will.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But I got so fed up that I didn't care about monitoring the exit. I told her, please leave while I'm out of town. I'm not even in LA. I said, just be gone when I get back. I'll be back Sunday. Please, you don't be there. Don't care what you do. Just please don't be there. I'll deal with it when I get home. I realized I took the little couple dollars that I had to my name out my little safe. I had my passport on me. I had a bag. I felt like I was in a spy movie. I had a go bag. I took my cash out the safe and my passports. I had everything on me. Everything else I buy is just stuff. I don't care. Just be out of my house. That's how I felt.
Oh, okay.
So I come back home.
See, how'd that work out? And I was like,
No! Surprisingly, I walk back into the house and nothing. She didn't mess nothing up. She didn't mess up no clothes. She didn't throw nothing away. She didn't break nothing. She didn't leave it a mess. Like, everything was intact. A couple paintings that didn't belong to her, and you know you took a couple of my paintings, and that's cool. Whatever. Minute, minuscule things, fine. I'm chilling. I'm in here sick. I've been with her 3.5, 4 years, so I'm in here sick. I ain't thinking about food. Who wants to eat at a time like this? I'm sick, Byron. I'm sick, all right? I'm not thinking about food. I'm sick. Heart is broken. Cool. I find out the next day that, hey, Kris, we know that you were thinking that we were going to start filming season 3 in like March, April, but yeah, it's looking like we're not knowing when this strike is going to end, buddy. It's looking like it might not be until the top of 24. I said, hold on, excuse me. You said what? You said, hold on, wait. You said we're not gonna film the show. So wait. So the checks. What about? I said, so what do we do about the checks that we were supposed to be? Yeah, buddy. Okay. So I'm sick. And I can't work for the whole year and just broke up with my girl of 4 years. I'm sitting there sick. Kitchen Island, sitting there sick. Cool. Days go by, about 3-4 days go by. I'm like, man, you know what, man? Let me get out this funk, nigga. Let me go in here. I'm finna make me something to eat, man. Fuck that. I ain't finna call no more Uber Eats. I'm finna make me some food. Open the cabinet. All my pots and pans are gone. Nigga, I open the other cabinet. All my goddamn seasonings are gone. All the Sazon, all the Lawry's, everything gone. The lemon pepper, everything is gone. It's gone. I said, why would she do this? I said, why would she?
You thought she didn't take nothing,
I thought she didn't take anything because I wasn't thinking about eating for 3, 4, 5 days. So I never checked. Why would she do this?
Of all the things.
Of all the things. So I text her. I said, did you really take all my pots and pans and all my seasonings? And she just replied with one sentence. You ain't finna be cooking for no bitches. I said, wait, what? At this point, I'm flabbergasted. I said, what about for myself? You worried about so just forget me. I'm nothing. Okay. And I said, man, you only did that because your boyfriend can't cook. And then I said, I was like, wait a minute, what did you just say? I was like, no. What did you just say? I was like, she only did that because her boyfriend can't cook. And then I felt like I had one of them Ryan Reynolds moments. Like, is this the moment where I just thought of something that I might end up making more money off of than actually acting? And then I real quick got on Google and I Googled it. Your boyfriend can't cook. Nothing popped up. I was like, nah, somebody. I'm like, nigga, you're not that smart, nigga. Get over yourself. Get on, go on Instagram and type it in. Somebody surely has that handle. No, nobody had it.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. I called my business lady. I said, hey, I need to trademark this. Your boyfriend can't cook. Can we LLC this? Can we do this? I said, before somebody gets to hurry up, do it now. Do it tomorrow. and then before you know it, and then like I said, I couldn't work all year. So I needed like something to keep me engaged anyway. Yeah. And then before you knew it, that whole year just consisted of me trying to just grow the brand. And then I started doing restaurant takeovers. Like I would get restaurants to pay me a appearance fee to show up, take over the kitchen, cook, invite people.
Wow.
That's how I survived all year. I said, so the sentence that she sent me, you ain't gonna be cooking for no umps, right? Now I built a whole business and all I do is cook for business.
That is so cool, though. But it took her to leave you and take all your pots and pans and your seasoning for you to figure the shit out, huh?
It took all of that. And I said, honestly, I would have never thought of that if she wouldn't have did that. If she wouldn't have did that, I would have never thought of doing this. I promise you. I just cook all the time anyway. I was already cooking. Yeah. And then that happened, but with the strike, so the strike helped. Her doing that helped. And then the show was on TV. Our season 2 premiered around that time in September. So as I thought of that and I started growing the brand, I started having watch parties. I started having like watch parties for the show at my house. But because we on strike, I'm like, I ain't finna buy these niggas no food. I ain't got it. I am on a fixed budget. We are on strike. That was my excuse for everything in 2023. We are on strike, ma'am. I don't have it. No dates. There's no trips. We are on strike. That was my excuse for everything. So I'm like, I'm not buying food for all of y'all to eat for free at my house. I'm on strike. Y'all can come watch the show over here, though. And I was like, but you know what? I will cook. So I just started cooking and inviting hella people over to watch the show, and people would eat it, and they would be like, yo, Kris, where you order this from, boy? It's hard to find good wings like this in LA. Where you do this? Where you get this salmon from? Where you get these lamb chops? Where you da-da-da-da? I was like, oh, nigga, I cooked that. They're like, what, you lying? You ain't cooked this. I'm like, I literally cooked everything.
Wow.
And they were like, wait, what? They was like, Kris, you cooked this. I said, yes. Your boyfriend can't cook. And they was like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, I started a brand. And they was like, Kris, shut up. I was like, no, look. And they was like, wait, what? And then everybody just would come over, watch the show, and they would just tag the food. Your boyfriend can't cook. Your boyfriend can't cook. And it just kept growing like that. And then I just kept throwing parties. So that's how I do it.
That's tight. That is tight.
That's how you do
so
it.
Obviously, you can really cook.
Yeah, I can cook. And my tagline is, though, not a chef, just a nigga that cook. I don't want real chefs coming for me. I don't care if you went to Le Cordon Bleu, my nigga. That's good for you. That is great for you. Great accomplishments, my nigga. Your Michelin stars, great. Yes, I know you're better than me. I know I'm probably doing certain things wrong. I know I should use a measuring cup, but fuck you. Leave me alone, chef. I say that respectfully, chef. Yes, chef.
Oh, man.
That's hilarious.
Before we move, though, because we got to talk about the Baltimore Ravens jacket, hat, matching kicks.
The whole ensemble.
Like, I thought you were from Chicago.
Shout out to my boy Lamar Jackson, man.
Yeah,
my guy.
doubt.
Yeah, I see you, Action Jackson.
One of the baddest quarterbacks in the league.
Yes, sir.
But, that's MVP.
Yeah.
Nah, it's just
Two
been
times.
a thing. It's been a thing, and I'm gonna actually show you something when I'm gonna show you something because people was questioning that, and I posted it on my Instagram story, and it was not even as far back as I wanted it to be, but far back enough for people to understand and leave me alone. Like a post on Facebook from like 2013, 2014, where I posted on Facebook, yeah, my Ravens going in today. So it's not like I didn't do it just because of Lamar. Although I love him, I was here before. And I think it stems from me playing sports. Yeah. When I played football, I played defense. I played free safety. Sometimes I would play wide receiver, but mostly free safety. So I gravitated, when I watched, to the teams with the best defenses. So like the Ray Lewis, the Chris McAllister, the Air Reed, when they had that defense.
They were beast mode.
That was my favorite team. Yeah. I wanted to. It was the Ravens. And ever since then, I just been a Ravens fan.
But Chicago Bears had one of the best defenses
Yeah, they
ever.
did, but that was long after that. That wasn't at the same time when Ray Lewis and them was doing it. So I was a fan. I'm always a fan of my home city's team, but it doesn't have to be my team. It's just our team because I'm from Chicago. That's where I'm from. That's our team, our Bears, the Bears, but that ain't my team per se, because like, let's just say my parents was from somewhere else and we migrated here.
Yeah.
And they raised me to be an Eagles fan or something, even though we lived in Chicago. That happens. So it could be like that, even though, and my people from Mississippi, they ain't got no sports team at all. So like the teams my dad likes are crazy. He's a Celtic fan, he's a Miami Dolphins fan, and he loved the Lakers.
You lost
how you like the Lakers and the Celtics?
You lost me at the Celtics right there.
I
was like, what the hell?
Yeah, for real.
Celtic and the Lakers?
He like both, which is crazy.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, no, you're different, Pop.
It's the East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
So hold on. I'm going to put you guys up against each other. Best defense. Those Ravens with Ray Lewis or the Steel Curtain?
Oh, come on now.
He's a Steeler fan.
Oh, my God, you too?
Yeah,
one of my best friends is a Steelers fan. We play y'all, I think, next week, don't we?
I think so.
Yeah,
What you mean, you two? What you mean?
Yeah, no, because my boy, shout out to my boy Blizz.
Hey,
my boy Blizz is, I just lost.
well, dog. Us Steeler fans, we travel well.
Oh, man, I'm sick. Okay. Which defense, though? The Troy Polamalu era?
No.
Before that?
I'm
talking about Steel Curtains when you had Jack Lambert and Jack Ham.
Okay.
You had L.C. Greenwood. You had Mean Joe Green.
Oh,
you had
I know
Donnie
that Mean Joe
Shell,
Green.
Mel Blunt.
Okay, see, I wasn't
defense.
privy to be able to watch that, so I wouldn't be able to.
You wasn't born. I
Yeah,
don't think at that
I was
time,
born
so-
88.
Yeah, you wasn't born.
So I wouldn't have
I think it was
experienced
just
that.
right before
I
there,
think
right?
it was just right before
before
that.
I would have to see. I need to.
You know what, Chris? Go back. And I mean, the Ravens, because to me, there's really like three teams that had unbelievable defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens being one with Ray Lewis, who I love. Ray Lewis is unbelievable. Shout out to my boy Ray.
Mm-hmm.
The Chicago Bears 85 defense was off the chain.
They was cold. That's when they won.
Dent, Richard Dent, one of my boys, played golf with Richard Dent, right?
Oh, okay.
And then you talking about the Steel Curtain,
Yes, sir.
which is Pittsburgh. And I think the Steel Curtain was in the late 70s.
Okay.
So like I said, you wasn't nowhere.
My pops
around.
would know.
Yeah,
My pops
but
would
as
know.
pops about the Steel Curtain, those three defenses right there are arguably the greatest defenses ever in the NFL.
Man, can't you put my no-fly zone up in
We-
there?
we
The
can't-
Denver Broncos? Come on, man.
I mean,
Shout out to T. Ward.
With John Lynch?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that team,
no-fly. Yeah, no-fly zone.
I mean,
They had Champ Bailey, didn't they? That was the Champ Bailey team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
had a
don't
hell
know.
of a defense too.
Yeah, that was the Champ Bailey. It was nice.
Yeah, they had a hell of a defense too.
Even
but,
we could talk about them Raiders when they had Charles Woodson and Rod Woodson.
oh, that's true.
And Bill Romanowski.
That's true.
And
No, that's true. I mean, the Raiders had some defenses too. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
So
they-
that would be a topic, a conversation for another time because this we can go on that all day because I'm gonna say the Steel Curtain was the greatest of all time, and you probably gonna say Ray Lewis and that group was the greatest of all time.
Definitely will.
Before we get you out of here, I know you had questions for Byron, right?
Yeah, man.
And we don't do this.
Yeah.
We don't do this. But today seems like one of those days where I've been getting interviewed as much as we doing interviewees. you know?
Exactly.
But this is cool because Chris, he came in and before we even started shooting, he was throwing shit at me right away. So I was like, Chris, we're gonna get to that.
We're
gonna let you do your thing. So Chris, go ahead. What's your questions?
Okay,
I want to know about this.
I'm going to start here. I just want to I would love to have been a fly on the wall, right? In the locker rooms of the Los Angeles Lakers back in those days. Like without, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want you to be, but if I was a fly, what would Mr. Fly have seen on those walls? Because like I said, this is back in the day where niggas could smoke cigarettes in the locker room.
Drank beer, all that back in the day.
I envy that time in the world because I'm a dude, I smoke cigarettes. So I envy people who used to be able to get on airplanes and smoke cigarettes. When I get on them planes and it still got the little ashtray right here, I say, my, what a time. I was born in the wrong era. What a time. Now they look at you worse than homeless people and crackheads when you pull out a cigarette. They look at but go ahead, I'm sorry. That's a whole other thing.
Well, as you know,
yes, sir.
Because you've played every sport. As you know, that locker room is sacred.
Yes, it is.
We don't. It's just
I
like
was the fly.
He was the fly because he was always in there with us, right?
Oh, that's crazy.
So it's just like that old saying about what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
What happens in that locker room stays in that locker room. You know what I mean? And the team that we had, that Showtime team, the thing that was so cool, and people don't believe me when I tell them, I said, y'all don't understand. we were so together. We didn't have fights, and we didn't have this going on, and we didn't have that going on, because our discussions was all about winning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we were so tight as a group that we didn't let nothing come in that locker room that could disrupt us from taking care of business every single night. And obviously our end goal was to win championships.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was disruptive in that locker room, we got their ass out of there. It was just that simple. You know, Magic would have been the first to be like, oh, you know what? He ain't working out.
Yeah.
Management, get rid of his ass. Right in front of him. He wouldn't go to management and say, we need to get rid of such and such. He would go to the dude and say, you know what? This shit ain't working out. You ain't, because you ain't one of us. So, hey, Jerry, his ass need to go. It was that simple.
Love it.
And
Gangster.
You know, about 3-4 days, his ass be gone.
Oh, wow.
It was just that simple. Like you said, it was just gangster in our locker room, right? But that's how it was back then. You know? And then, like you said, guys would be in there. Pat Riley cut out all that shit.
Yeah, he wasn't playing.
Pat Riley was like, no, ain't no smoking. Gary V, get all that fucking liquor, beer, all that shit out of here. We ain't having none of that shit in here no more. We had our Gatorades and water.
Okay, so Pat Riley was the pioneer to that.
Yeah, Riley was.
Because what was that coach's name that was before when Pat took over? The coach y'all had right before
it wasn't Westhead. It was McKenna.
Yes.
Jack McKenna.
Yes.
Jack McKenna.
Who had the bicycle accident.
Yeah. Yes.
Rouse took over, wins the championship.
Mm-hmm.
The rest is history. So when Rouse got it, it was another thing with that was back in those days as well, Kris, everybody came to camp to get in shape. Pat Riley was like, no, fuck that.
Come to camp already.
You come in camp in shape. And this is what you need to do in the summer when you come to camp. Because when you come to camp, we're going to know if you're in shape anyway, because he had you doing all these tests. We had treadmill tests. He tested your body fat. Treadmill tests, you had to run a certain distance, a certain time to pass that test.
Oh, damn.
Dog. So it was all that other shit was put to bed.
And they were dropping 120 with no 3-pointers.
Yeah.
That's what the scores was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because y'all era was way more slashers and way more bully ball. Like I honestly feel like I was born during the wrong times. Like a lot of things that I see back in the day, besides like slavery or some shit. But back in the day, everything else seems pretty cool to me though.
See, Kris, I feel the same way. I was born at the wrong time because I should have been born 30 years later.
Yeah.
Because all the money these fools making right now, I'm like, man, come on, dog.
Bro, no, I be thinking the same things too because all these streamers and all that, bro, I used to be doing all of this shit. Oh my God, if I pulled up YouTube videos, and back in the day there used to be something called Ustream I was doing all of this, streaming and following me around with cameras and vlogging. I was doing all this 13, 14 years ago. And it's just, I always think about now they're getting paid millions and billions of dollars. It's crazy. So how did you feel about the show then, Winning Time? I loved it, but somebody who was actually a part of it, no.
Well, you know what? The thing about Winning Time is you got to remember, if you're watching the first season, I wasn't involved in that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was Norm and Coop and Magic.
Before they got traded.
Before he got traded.
Yeah.
Before they made the trade. So when they end up cutting it off is right when they were talking about me, like the last 2 episodes of being traded there, right? So when they were supposed to do the second season and they said, nope, we slashed, and that's when I was supposed to really, I guess, come on.
Okay.
Right? But watching it and knowing what I know, and being around those guys and knowing the history and all that stuff, 50% of it I would say was true. The other 50% is made for show, and obviously for the audience so they can get a reaction and all that, and so you keep watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys like Magic, Kareem, and guys like that, they was like, we ain't watching that shit.
I bet.
That shit. My wife made me watch it every damn night. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, babe, I don't want to watch this shit.
I was locked in. I ain't gonna lie.
I was like, I don't want to watch this shit because I wasn't there, so I can't really speak on it.
I feel
like that, But obviously, it did pretty good as far as ratings and things like that.
Yeah.
But I guess not good enough to get it to another season or two, or whatever the case may be.
I think it was more so like how you just said, people like Kareem and all them saying, I ain't watching this shit. I think it was the backlash. And then you remember when Magic put out his own joint, like when they premiered, just to kind of attract the attention away from that. I think it was more so that stuff. That shit had the ratings and people loved it. That shit was good to me. I watched every episode.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't live it though. So if somebody tried to make a movie about some shit that I lived and it was wrong, I'd probably be saying the same thing.
Be pissed off too,
yeah,
right?
So I 100% understand both positions. I understand both positions. I got something else for you though. Well, coaching.
Yes.
I told you about that transition. I think it's very rare to see a former player turn into a coach where as a player he actually served purpose and was an actual weapon. I feel like most players turn coaches weren't necessarily the best of players, but you just knew they had a great basketball mind or football mind. You just knew it was something special about them. Like they know the game. They know what they're talking about. There's just 4 other guys that are better than you right now.
Right.
You're still good, but there's just 4 other guys who are better than you right now. So you might not play that much. But you were pivotal pieces of contending teams, and that's what I'm saying. So for me, to have that basketball mind and also be the basketball talent that you were, I just find that headspace very dope and rare air to be in. So I just want you to speak on that and also the differences between the coaching and one funny coaching story, crazy coaching story. I want to hear that shit too.
Okay. Well, I never really set out to be a coach. You know, I didn't know, when I was 26 years old, Pat Riley told me one day we were having a conversation. He said, one day when you become a coach, you'll understand what I go through. And I said, Rouse, fuck you talking about? I ain't gonna coach. I ain't never coaching. You crazy as hell. Right? Never thought about it.
Right.
6 years later, I'm in Indiana playing with Reggie Miller, the Davis boys, Antonio Davis, Dale Davis, Rick Smith, Derek McKee, all those guys. I had a great team. Vern Flemings, Pooh Richardson was on that team, Haywood Workman. We had a really good team, right? And I had another coach that was a Hall of Fame coach, Larry Brown. And one day at practice, Larry said, he called me by. Hey, By, how would you guys double down on the post? I said, well, it depends on, where he is. And I said, this is where we would come from. This is our rotations, blah, blah, blah. Larry said, all right, let's do it that way. So we put the ball in live and we played it. Rotations win. He was like, I like that. Okay, how would you do this? So he would ask me questions in practice. I said, this is how we would do it, coach. And we would do it again. After practice that day, he said, you know what? No, I don't know if you ever thought about this, but I think you would be a hell of a coach. And I was like, wait a minute, he the second motherfucker that's told me I would be a great coach.
Second legendary.
Second legendary Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Said it. So then it just got me thinking. I said, man, they see something that I don't see right now myself. But at that moment, I started, taking notes, keeping a journal, going through things I would do in certain situations, and I just kept it for the next 4 years. And then boom, I got an opportunity to be assistant coach at Sacramento. 2 years there, Rick Adelman was like, you're going to get, coaches are going to come after you, organizations to be your head coach. And the second year there, sure enough, I started doing interviews with these organizations, took the job in New Jersey.
Jersey first.
With Rod Thorne, who was a big time, basketball guy at West Virginia. He was there with Jerry West. And he gave me my first opportunity to be a head coach, and I just ran with it, man. And the thing that I loved about it is because of the fact that I played the game, so I saw the game differently than a lot of people.
Exactly.
But being on the bench and watching the game, was also different, And the thing that was the hardest about coaching for me, at least, is that when I played, I had to worry about one person. That's me. I had to make sure I was ready every single game. I was in shape. My whole biggest thing was I'm not going to let Magic, Kareem, James, Kirk, Coop, all my I'm not going to let them down by being out of shape and doing all this crazy shit, I'm going to be ready and prepared every single night because I'm not going to let my teammates down. Being a coach, you got to worry about everybody. You got to worry about number 1 to number 15. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has their own things that are going on in life. So that was the biggest challenge, is really just worrying about everybody and trying to, let everybody know where I'm coming from. Because my first day of practice with every team that I ever had and every player, I gave them a 3x5 card. I said, this is what I need you to do. So there's no misunderstandings. I don't want you going to the papers like I've seen in many times where players are talking about, well, I don't know my role. Bullshit. You're going to know your role with this team. I'm going to give you a piece of paper that's going to tell you exactly what I need you to do.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So you can never use that. And then I always had an open door policy because I've been there. I understand that you go through family situations. You got, when you make it to the NBA or NFL or Major League Baseball, all of a sudden you got cousins and people that you never knew existed.
Exactly.
Everybody coming out the woodwork.
Man, can I get a couple of dollars?
Right.
man, who the hell are you?
It happens when you're on TV too.
I'm your
Let me
fifth
tell you.
cousin on your mama's side.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I have no idea who the hell this person is.
Exactly. Still
You
don't.
know, so you had to deal with that. And as players, I knew they had to deal with all those things too. So I always thought, to me, it was an advantage to have played the game and be able to coach it, because I've been there. I've been where you guys are.
Yep.
You know, and you trying to get to where I've been.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that made it, for me, for 17 years as a head coach, I love that. And just the type of relationships that you build.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a relationship type guy.
Me too.
Know, and I love having those relationships with, you know, my teammates back in the day and with players that I've coached.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know?
brotherhood.
So it's a brotherhood for life.
For sure.
You know, so that's kind of how I fell into coaching, man.
That's what's up. Nah, this is legend status for real, bro. Legend status. You already know. I appreciate that.
I appreciate the questions, but now we're gonna go back to you.
Okay.
And we want to leave you with this. What's next for Kris D. Lofton? What is next on the menu?
Man, next for me is, man, I got my own production company, so I'm definitely next for me is to get this podcast sold. And I'm writing. I've been writing my own pilots and movies. I'm finna make my own stuff, bro. I'm really trying to. I'm finna make my own shit. That's what's next for me, and I want to direct as well. So like I've been dabbling in all of that, bro, and just to show people the layers, because I feel like I'm in a position that if I play it right, it could be to my huge, great benefit, because to the world, it looks like Kris D. Lofton came out of nowhere because you just now starting to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like, oh, who's this new kid? He's actually kind of good. He's on the guy from Power. He's da-da-da-da. But they don't have the luxury of knowing off bat that I've been doing this for 26 years.
Right.
So it gives me this position where the ball's in my court to be able to make anything look great, because their expectations are so low because they think I'm new.
Right.
They don't know that I got 26 years of experience doing this. So I'm kind of in a position where I'd be able to deliver mediocrity and people look at it as greatness. But I'm not gonna take advantage of that. I'm still trying to deliver greatness.
Yeah, I was about to say,
but
you're
I'm
not selling on that, though.
No, I'm not damn sure not selling it
Yeah,
on
I
that.
feel
But we
you.
still striving for greatness at all times, but I'm fully aware of people, the perspective and what it's gonna look like to people that I just came out of nowhere, so the expectations are kind of low anyway. But no, so now when I exceed those, I'm gonna look like just so great. When it's like, no, you've been planning this all day. I've been planning it all week, son. What'd he say? I've been planning it all week, son. Like, come on now. Like, yeah, I've been writing scripts and directing all of this for the longest. Y'all just didn't give a damn. But now they people are starting to at least pretend to give a damn. So even
paying
with
attention.
that's enough for me. That's the slitherest of sly. Only the slitherest of sly could sneak in that little crack of the window, and I'm finna sneak my ass in that crack.
As you should.
I'm finna sneak in that crack. I'm telling you. That's what's next.
Love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kris D. Lofton, man. Thank you,
I appreciate
brother.
y'all, man.
Appreciate
Thank
you
you so
having you
much.
on
This
the
was
pod.
dope,
Love
man.
you, brother.
This
Thank
was
you so
fire,
much.
dog. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.